Mr. Foster, could you go ahead and approach the map? Tell us what happened that day from your perspective.
When I was coming from the back of the car to get in, I checked for safety. The light was red at 89th Street. I was just sitting there discussing a few things with my wife, and all I felt and experienced after that was a car collision. My knee got crushed in the door because I had my leg on the foothold.
Okay, so you were not really still getting into your car. You were kind of hanging out in the parked car with your legs still out, chatting with your wife.
Yeah, and I already checked the light. There was no traffic coming. I was safe.
Okay, all right, I got it.
And then
Okay.
the collision happened.
You can go ahead and return to your podium. So we're gonna go ahead now, Ms. Oliver, we're gonna change to your map, because I understand you have your own map. And why don't you explain to us what happened from your perspective?
Okay, well, so I was at the light. The light turned green. I was able to go, but I seen the door open, but it was too late for me to stop. I crashed into it.
Not true. I didn't fling the door.
Hold on. How fast were you going at the time?
Like 15.
So not too fast yet,
Yeah,
because
I
you were
was
just
getting-
starting to drive.
yeah.
Okay, you can go ahead back to the podium. One of the things that you said in your answer was that you couldn't have moved because there was a car going south.
Yeah, the light just,
Right.
you know, and I'm going with traffic, so it's cars all around me.
Okay, so if you had tried to turn to avoid, you would have hit the car next to you.
Yes.
Okay. So what happened after the accident?
I had got out the car to see if he was okay. I asked him if he was okay. He said yes.
Not true.
Hold on, let her finish. All right, you want to see if he's okay. What happened?
I checked on my baby, see if she was okay. She started crying.
You had your daughter who was about 10 months old in the back seat?
Yes.
Okay.
And I called my mom after I got out the car to tell her what happened. And his girlfriend walked up on me, and he walked up on me too. They was like saying like, "What's up?" Stuff like trying to get a fight started.
Mr. Foster, I understand you have a video, what happened kind of initially in the confrontation. All right, let's go ahead and watch Mr. Foster's video, and then I'll ask you some questions about it.
Okay.
Listen, you hit us. I'm asking you for your information. You
had your door wide
You're
open.
not my fortune teller, ma'am.
Yes,
I'm
you
asking
are.
for a copy of this information.
Right there.
You did this.
I have my papers
You
right
did
here.
this.
That's right
You,
there.
okay, I need a copy. You did this. I need a copy.
It's right here. You feel me? All you gotta do.
You rather wait till the police come?
Okay, so that was you and the defendant yelling, correct?
You know what? I was probably the most composed on that video. There was a lot of fussing and fighting and arguing going on. I'm glad I had the video to show that I wasn't part of that. I wasn't part of I was just explaining.
Who was the other voice we heard yelling?
Her witness.
So this was considerably after the event because her mother had time to get there, correct?
Yes. Okay, so first of all, can I explain a little bit?
Yes, please, go ahead, and then
okay,
we're
so
going to
first of
invite your
all,
witness.
the defendant is very untrustworthy. Once the accident happened, I noticed that she tried to keep going. The wheel popped, so she was forced to pull over. Her car forced her to pull over. She pulled over. I immediately stepped out of the vehicle. The first thing that came out of my mouth was, "Do you have a driver's license?" She said no. And my wife assumed she said she had no insurance. That's when the defendant started engaging with my wife because she was afraid she did not have insurance.
Right.
And she said, the words came out of my wife's mouth is, "I do not have to show you my insurance. You hit my car." Because in a situation like this, you do not have to provide your insurance and information. They do. The person that hit your car does. So I thought that I was going to get some type of a phone call from her insurance company. No, I had a struggle with her insurance company. They closed the case without even contacting me. They deemed it nobody's fault.
That's not what happened. They deemed it 100% your fault.
Well, I have documents to show my insurance company is 100% on my side, 100%.
Okay,
That's what
we'll look at that evidence. Okay, ma'am, why don't you go
Okay.
ahead and step up? Why don't you tell us when you arrived on the scene?
I arrived on the scene approximately like 5 minutes after my daughter called me.
Okay, and what did you see when you arrived?
A woman and a man yelling at my daughter.
Were you part of the yelling?
Yes.
Also,
Yeah.
ma'am, I had to really struggle to get what I was supposed to have, which was his insurance. I didn't get that from.
Right, I understand that. I think he admits he refused to give it to you.
Yeah, get it from the law.